Well, one of the biggest things you hear when you think about moving to Florida is hurricanes. People say, well, what about hurricanes? And while it's a valid concern, the reality is that I lived through one of the worst hurricanes in New Jersey, Hurricane Sandy. I know people who lost their homes, went without power for over a week. And currently, there's another hurricane that was passing. It went through Louisiana and now it's up in the New Jersey area. And it totally missed Florida. And in addition to the hurricanes that hit a lot of different states in America, not just Florida, there's snowstorms, tornadoes. Even in California, we've seen the wildfires. And so, in actuality, Florida is not that much more at risk in many instances. And I expose that lie that many people may try to instill in you when you think about moving to Florida. What about hurricanes? Again, it's something that you have to prepare for with regards to understanding higher home insurance, understanding flood zones. That's why I recommend maybe buy a mobile home, maybe buy an RV lot so that you mitigate risk. Because you are in a somewhat tropical Caribbean environment. But I think about those people, okay, who don't live in Florida right now that are going through a hurricane, and I feel bad for them. I'm not mocking them. There was a tornado warning in Pennsylvania, New Jersey. There was flooding. Um, and again, I remember on October 31st, whatever it was, 8 years ago, when Hurricane Sandy came at the end of October in New Jersey. Don't let those who either fear or worry about you moving, or they themselves don't want to move, don't let them lie to you and make you worry to the point where it's not logical. Hurricanes are a real risk. Okay, there's something you got to consider it, but it's not a deal breaker. The deal breaker is living where you're not inspired. The deal breaker is staying around family just because you're familiar. The deal breaker is waiting till you're too old to make an adult decision. The message tonight is the guaranteed hurricane comes when you live where you're not inspired, because even if you never have a natural disaster, it is a disaster to live a life in an environment that doesn't inspire you, that doesn't excite you, that you can't go outside for a walk. If you want to keep flexibility in your lifestyle, again, you can do things like buy an RV lot. You can do things, like Airbnb, even though that's not cheaper all the time. Christina, great to see you. She goes, waiting for you. And good evening, Christina. Good evening to you. Christina's been traveling out of her vehicle. Okay. And it has allowed her, she shared with me the other night, it's allowed her to keep her space and her independence when visiting her son and her in-laws. And I agree with that. You need boundaries. You need space. Even two great people, you put them too close together for a long enough period of time. Guys, it's not healthy, period. So I've learned that through my own experiences in life. And that's what I'm sharing with you tonight. An experience of moving from New Jersey to Florida, experiencing a worse hurricane in New Jersey than Florida. And everywhere in the world, and certainly everywhere in America, there's different climates that affect different risks. Okay. But again, guys, there's no way you get to your best life without taking some calculated risk. Okay. And you keep flexibility and you live below your means. That mitigates risk. Okay, Adam's in here. Adam, great to see you. Adam is from Vero Beach. I highly recommend that area. I met a great guy. Shout out to Michael if he watches me. I know, Michael, I know you're conservative. I love you. Don't get upset with me when I talk a little wild. So, look, guys, to me, Florida for the win. I say that as I start to look at when I want to travel. There's two things I'm looking at now. Is one, when do I want to make my yearly migration north to visit my mother? Usually I do it after Labor Day, unless last year was different because of the pandemic. But usually I do it after Labor Day, which we're approaching Labor Day weekend. So I'm timing it. I still have a back of my mind. It's a possibility I'll leave this weekend, but I may also wait till the end of September. I'm looking at that day by day. And then the other thing is home base, because I'm kind of ready for a home base. I want enough flexibility. I mean, I'm not looking at any single family properties. I looked at a few. I'm not going to say I looked at a few. And there's some that, it's such, it's below my means. It's a little shack that I would be okay with risking it. But I really don't want that. It's either going to be a mobile home. I looked at a nice mobile home today, two of them, with no HOA, perfect, under 150,000, 10 minutes away from the beach, 10 minutes away from Starbucks, excellent. So go for it. Well, one of them, it's a little bit too close to the neighbors, even though it's not a bad neighborhood. I don't know if I want to be that close to my neighbors. The RV lot countryside bigger. And the other one is it's very big. It's like more than a quarter of an acre with a mobile home and a place to put your RV. But I don't know if I want to take care of that much property. That's almost too much space. And it's tucked away in an area that's still very much redeveloping, but I feel both of them are a good investment. Even more than an RV lot, to be honest with you, because I think they'll go up in value more over 10 years. But I want to enjoy where I live, so it's a tough balance. My biggest decision now, man, because the beach bungalow, I tried to reach out to the owner. It's for sale by owner. I reached out to them probably about 5 times in the course of a week. I got one response. I haven't heard from them since. So they're not serious to sell. She inherited the property. She don't want to sell. I mean, I could keep chasing her, but, it was already like, So I'll see, But the other thing is just like, how close do I want to be to amenities? That's my biggest thing. Do I want to drive 40 minutes or do I want to be within 10 minutes? I like the peace of the countryside. I like the proximity of these mobile homes I was just sharing with you with regards to infrastructure, but I don't like the proximity to my neighbors or the neighborhood as much. So everything has that pro and that con, man. Every neighborhood has a good and a bad. Every home base has a good and a bad. I mean, again, that's why the nomad life is so attractive. Because, when you're not committed to anything, what do you worry? But the bad part about the nomad life is, as you do it for more than a few months, more than a few years, you're going to find where you want to stay the most. And stealth camping, again, you get away with it, but it's not a long-term strategy, especially if something changes. And if you get really sick or hurt, and people find that out with COVID, or if you're elderly, you're vulnerable, okay? So you got to have either a lot of money, okay, on the sidelines to be able to get off the road, but, it's like at a certain point, if you're living below your means, you can budget a house, a home base. Definitely in Florida. I mean, I've shown you guys, and I'm still finding things under 150,000. So we may have peaked out with regards to inflation. Maybe not. I don't know the future, but I feel good about some options I have on the table. I feel good about I'm living in Florida. There's no hurricane. There's hurricane right now that went, God bless them, everyone in Louisiana and now up northeast. So, but I will probably go up north a little bit for the fall. ESP, what's up, ESP? Hey, Sam. I logged off my work computer and I turned on the Uber app. You're doing a great job. You have what it takes, ESP, to work in the corporate world and to be an independent contractor, okay? So I want you, if you want, to push yourself to get out of Alaska by November, and you're doing it now, so you're smart. And you probably know in Alaska, you make few grand a month if you full-time these gig apps. And if you went to California, in the areas, especially the middle class to higher end areas, I guarantee you can make $3,000 a month. Guarantee, because I can do that down here in Florida. So let's continue to read her comment. She goes, She turned off her main job's computer. Then she turned on her Uber app. I just finished delivering Chinese food over. There you go. Making money in the gig economy is my after work hobby. It's exciting. DoorDash, for me, was my number one. I never did Uber Eats. I know some people do Instacart, but it's exciting because, you're driving, you're completing a task. Of course, now the thing with technology is make things like a game, but it may be like a game delivering the app and it may keep the drivers engaged, but there's real money on the other side of that. And like with DoorDash, you could cash out every day. They take a certain percentage, or you could just wait once a week. Every week I had a direct deposit from DoorDash every Tuesday. So you can't beat that. And so the key with the gig economy is accept 90% of the orders. That's my opinion. Some people disagree. But also what I found is their mentality long-term hurts them, and it's been proven most people I've seen. Because they're always going from one thing to another. Okay. So you do want to reject some orders, but you don't want to reject orders that are borderline. You want to reject like the double orders, the orders that are like very far away. But anything questionable that's reasonable, accept. You'll get put in an algorithm of success, and you'll build a good habit because you're logged on to the gig economy to make money, not to cherry pick. And when you have that mindset, you get stuff done. And then you get tips, and then you get recommended by DoorDash more. It's like being a consistent YouTuber or anything. The algorithm acknowledges those who are consistent, okay, and have certain metrics, like any employer does. When you have an employee, whether independent contractor or regular worker, and they're reliable and they execute, okay, and then they're going to get recommended more jobs and they're going to get more money. It makes sense. If you were the employer, if you were the algorithm, would you not create an algorithm that rewards those, okay, who complete more deliveries, who accept more? Yeah, I would if I was the owner. Why would you reward those who do less? It doesn't make sense. You'd have a collapsed society. Okay. So, ESP, you're a smart woman. Okay. And I believe continue to do the gig economy, and I believe continue to apply for another main job in California. Okay. Or remote, fully remote. Now's the time to apply for a fully remote job in your industry. There's still a lot out there. And you're smart enough to do it. Okay. And now, this is your time, ESP. You're middle age. You got you got experience. Okay. You got your health. You got to take some risk now. Okay. You mitigated your risk by living simple, by keep working. Now you got to take some calculated risk. Okay, by going for a new job fully remote and doing the side job to mitigate that risk and explore a little bit. Explore a little bit. Now's the time. Don't wait till you're 65. Don't wait till you're 75. Now's the time. You're 35, 45. Now's the time. Okay, because you've done things in order. And now, like my man said from the Bronx Tale, the dream doesn't get any closer than this. We got to go after it. Don't recklessly move to Florida. Don't recklessly quit your job, but you do things responsible and you got to take some risk. Good job. Back to live comments. Twista, what's up, everyone? Twista, great to see you. Thank you for your positive attitude. We're putting you in the algorithm of success. Why? Because you're young, you're in your 20s, you're going to school, you're doing what you need to got to do. And as you get through that, you do the gig economy on the side or whatever you're going to do, and then you start to get into your career mode, and then you get out of your house, and then you get into the algorithm of your best life. ESP, I do Uber Eats and Instacart. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Look, that's the best part about the technology era. We're not in the industrial era. What was the industrial era? Well, in the beginning of the 19th century, in America, most modern societies, you had machines that could mass create a product, like, as an example, the automobile, and they created these factories. And these factories had workers. And it was a stable job for 30 years. But, guys, do you want to work for 30 years at Ford Auto Plant, which is not a bad job. Some people did it. But the people of this generation, most of them, guys, they want freedom. They want to be able to work from anywhere in the country, do the gig economy, and maybe do something remote. Now, certainly, there's some people still want to do factory. There's no shame in that. No shame in any work. I'm just trying to say, that we are fortunate as you know, there's always a pro and a con, but 2021, okay, is still better than 1921. Because there's no way in 1921, number one, as a woman, you wouldn't have any opportunity. Number two, okay, in 1921, you would never be able to get in your car, make $3,000 a month, even adjusted for inflation, live an independent life, and apply for other jobs, and just live free and not be questioned. I mean, and you know, it's like, oh, who's this woman by herself? Oh, who's this guy? No, you know, you go into a town, no one knows anyone because there was no information, there was no internet. So anytime you'd come into a strange town, you'd be looked at like, who are you? What's this person? You know, get the sheriff, no matter who you are, what you are. So, guys, we're doing all right. Okay, there's some negatives always. Okay, but what I always want to tell you, now is the time to responsibly do things in order and go after your life. I thank God that I started my move down to Florida responsibly 4 years ago. That's 4 years I can't get back. I saw a great video I know of Gail, used to be a viewer of mine. Okay. Thank God that she got in her car, lived in her car when she was young enough, healthy enough to do it. Okay. You know, now she got COVID, and thank God she got in her apartment as she got older. Okay. So I'm saying that to say, guys, don't just think like you're always going to be able to do what you want to do. You don't get your time back. Now, don't just quit your job again. Never quit your job without another job. Never move without securing your income somewhere else. Your job is your freedom, not your car, because your car requires gas, insurance, etc. But if you're willing to do something, and if you put in the work, guys, you can figure it out. Okay. So let's go back to these live comments. Shout out to you, Timothy. I see you. We're going to get to these comments. ESP says, I am applying for remote jobs. I am practicing the gigs apps because I need it as a main gig. No, you're mitigating your risk. You mitigate your risk by having multiple sources of revenue. Okay, you've already got your expenses very low, and I'm sure you could even cut your expenses a little bit more if you wanted to cut out some extra food or some higher price food, and that's fine. But if you don't need to cut it, enjoy your life. So, you know, like I say, if a single person with a paid off car, how much do they need to live in their car? In my opinion, bare minimum $1,000 a month. And that's if you have no debt, no other expenses in your car. Decent, $1,500. $2,000, you're doing okay. $3,000 a month, now you're getting ahead. Because again, you don't want to just pay your bare necessities. You want to put some in savings. You want to be able to have a little extra buffer. And so, you know, guys, it costs about $1,000 to $1,500 a day. I mean, not a day, a month, even to live in your car with no debt. Why? Guys, if the lifestyle costs you $30 a day, and it can easily, $10 a day in gas, okay? You got to consider whatever it is, $2 a day or $3, $5 a day for your insurance if you average it out. Plus, you're easily going to spend $20 a day in food and drink and everything else, eye contact solution, deodorant, toilet, whatever, guys. So, easily $30 a day. That's $900 a month. Easy. And that's bare minimum. Okay. So, and that's not even traveling that much. And that's what I said, some people are delusional. They don't understand that. You know, and if they think they're not going to spend that much money, where are you going to park all this time? Because that's the only way you save money. You park everywhere, and you're not going to eat out at all. You're just going to stay still. And then you're just surviving. You're not thriving. And that's when you're better off in a subsidized house with an EBD card and just not doing nothing. Because it's like, you know, why be on the road? The whole point of being on the road, two reasons. Number one is flexibility to figure out what you want to do next with your life or explore. Number two is for independence. Look, is it more independent to live out of your car or RV than to live in a subsidized house or apartment? Of course. But it's less stable. So that's what the trade-off. It's like you got to figure it out. Like, what do you need? Okay. And so, you know, that's how you figure it out. Oh, we got a super chat. $5. Forgive me for being late. $5 super chat, Christina. Christina had been very gracious to me. I'm proud of you on your journey. You're figuring out your life. You're taking care of yourself. And you're seizing the moment of your life, going after what you want, what you can do in your abilities. Continue to prepare. and look forward to the next season, but enjoy the day. What is your life, your daily routine? What did you do today? What will you do tomorrow? The secret of a good life is having a daily routine that includes something you're passionate about. You're always going to have to do something you don't want to do, even if it's wake up early, go to the gym, whatever. And guys, visually seeing things that inspire you, palm trees, the weather, that's a huge part of quality of life. And then, pushing yourself, getting in the ocean, going after a creative venture. Maybe it's something financial. You like to do stocks. Maybe you like to do business stuff, whatever. But your daily routine is your life. And if you're not inspired with your daily routine, you have to make changes. And Christine has made some changes. Christine, I thank you again with gratitude in my heart. And I'm very proud of you. I appreciate you sharing your journey with me. Thank you. All right, let's get back to these live comments. Let me take a hydration break. If you haven't already, click that thumbs up, share the video, leave a comment below. And we're going to keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Keep showing up. If you had a bad day, show up the next day. Even a quiet spirit can overcome a great mistake. If you want to quit today, get through today and show up tomorrow. Okay. Because what I can tell you is the only one that wants to see you quit is someone who's already quit on their own life. Because the crabs want to keep you in the bucket. And your insecurities want you to shut everything down. But your passion has to persevere. And you cultivate your passion through taking care of yourself and making decisions and doing things, pushing you closer to a better life. Okay. And we're going forward tonight. That's what I want to tell you. All right, back to the live comments in order. If I miss a comment, guys, please write it again. Forgive me. I don't mean to. Oh, yeah, Adam, I got to approve this one. Good thing I pulled up my laptop. I apologize, Adam. One of your comments got missed you. Let me go in order. Let me see. Oh, well, let me go back in order. Timothy, great to see you again, brother. Self-care. You keep doing your work, okay, with your side jobs, okay, in construction, making great money. You're always going to need a tradesman or tradeswoman anywhere. Plumber, electrician, carpenter, general contractor, trash removal. You'll need them anywhere. So if you're doing them, you're doing good. Good job. Thank you again, Christina. And Christina says, good for you, ESP. Twisted Sam, I've been thinking, I feel like if I take the time to take advantage of my new shift manager position at Dunkin' Donuts, I might be able to open my potential job opportunities for Miami sooner. Well, you can definitely get a job transfer if you work for Dunkin' Donuts or for Starbucks, because there's plenty down here, there's plenty everywhere, and you improve yourself by getting into a better job market. Would I recommend you transfer to Miami? Well, Miami's very congested. I would recommend you transfer to a high-end area and then maybe live on the outskirts. Coral Gables, if you're going to go in the Miami area. Look at, the Boca Ratons, the anywhere in Palm Beach County other than West Palm. You go to the areas where the money is, man. Especially for my younger people, go where there's abundance, not where there's scarcity. Scarcity basically means poverty, okay? Because you don't want to go to a Dunkin' Donuts, as an example, like in the countryside or in a bad neighborhood, because it's a bad environment, number one. It's a broke environment, number two. And especially when you're young, you're not trying to live frugally as far as your career. You're trying to advance. And you need to make connections, and you need to see an environment that shows you there's more to life, okay, than Dunkin' Donuts, Winn-Dixie, and the General Dollar. When you're in Coral Gables or when you're in a high-end area, you're going to see another level of prosperity. And it doesn't mean that people who have money are better than people who don't or whatever, but it means you got to live up to your potential. And if your potential, okay, is going to get unlocked, you have to see other people that are serious about unlocking their potential. You don't need to go to a Dunkin' Donuts where not enough people show up, so they have to shut down the Dunkin' Donuts for that night. And I guarantee you, there's some areas that happens. There's a mindset in that community that, fuck it. It's just Dunkin' Donuts. I ain't fucking going. And then they got shut down. You want to go where, guys, we show up, man. We get shit done, okay? And that is, I'm telling you right now, especially as a young person, that's the biggest thing. Now, guys, I've lived all different type of lives. I've lived, okay, amongst the bad mentality, amongst good. And there's good and bad people in all aspects of it. It's not a judgment on people, but it is a willingness to be honest and say, look, I got to separate from those who don't take shit serious. And I have to motivate myself. And if someone wants to pull me down, I want to tell you right now, I'll cut them off and I'll never go back to them. And I don't care how many thumbs down, I don't care how much spite, because they're spiteful because they failed themselves, okay, and they turned into their low achieving parents or their low achieving self-confidence, okay, and they deserve the suffering they get, even though I pray for grace for them. But I'll tell you one thing, someone who wants to bring you down, never spend a moment with them. You should want to be around people who want to see you excel, see you become a regional director of Dunkin' Donuts, not someone who laughs at you or laughs at themselves for working at Dunkin' Donuts. And that happens in Dunkin' Donuts that don't have the right environment, don't have the right manager. You want to know, before you transfer, not only do you want to go to a good area, you want to interview your manager, your manager, your director. And you want to see the energy and the vibe, and you want to ask them questions, because that's the most important relationship in any job, your direct manager. And you want to see the tone they set. You know, it's like, you know, the snake stinks from the top. If their tone and their demeanor and their mannerisms and their sarcasm is that of nastiness or not good, you don't need to go to another one. There's a million Dunkin' Donuts. Never get transferred to a one that you don't have to. See, what I'm telling you tonight, Twister, you understand this. There's a lot of opportunities, especially now. We save our 10% rejection for that which makes no sense. You don't take everything. But I want to tell you, there's a lot of 90% good opportunity, but you got to be willing. You got to be willing to hit accept. You got to be willing to hit apply. You got to be willing to call, not just apply. ESP, listen to this. Don't just apply. Google the company's headquarters HR department. Call the HR. Tell them about your application. Get their full name and form a relationship with the head of HR, or not the head of HR, but the HR representative that's in charge of filling that position. I remember before I got my remote job transfer, I scouted the land. I found a company down here in South Florida that had a similar position. It was a little bit lower pay. And I wanted to see. I applied. Okay, now, guys, got no response. So what did I do? I got the main number, talked to HR, formed a relationship. Guys, I didn't go through with it. I could have got it. I didn't go through with it. Why? Because I still figured I worked hard enough in the current company that I wanted to give it a little bit more time. But I had my backup plan. Okay. And I already had all the relationships. Okay. And guys, if I would have just applied and then say, well, let's see what happens, I wouldn't have got shit done. I had to follow up. Following up is the key to any successful person. I see some of these real estate agents, they don't follow up. I said, when the housing market slow down, you're going to be in trouble. Very undiligent. The diligent prosper, the lazy suffer. The diligent prosper, the lazy suffer. Never forget it. So I hope that helped you, Twister and ESP. All right, let's take a hydration break. Go back to these live comments. Click that thumbs up. Share the video. Leave a comment below. Put some effort into your life. The more effort you put, the more you get out. And if you're unwilling, it's like sometimes I was like, I really don't feel like doing that. And I don't have to. But it's like every little bit of energy I push a little bit, get something back. And every time you just a little more lethargic, your body hurts a little bit more and your money bag hurts a little bit more. Okay. Go after it. All right, back to live comments. My man Timothy. He goes, I have been using an app. Oh, I didn't know about this. Called, this is a good information. Listen, guys. Timothy says, I have been using an app called Handy to find handyman jobs. Great information here tonight. For the past year, it has really upped my game. Damn it, Timothy. Good information sharing. Everyone take notes. Twister, your thoughts? I just broke it down. Christina, thank you again, Christina. She goes, hello, Tim and Twister. Twister, hello, Christina. How, my man? What's up, brother? How you feeling? How goes Sam, my brother? What's good? Overall, it's a positive day. I looked at a couple home bases, thinking about my migration schedule. How was your day? He goes, this weather is something. Well, it was actually gorgeous today in South Florida. Sorry that you live in New York, New Jersey, where you got to worry about hurricanes. I love it. Move to Florida. Sell now. Move to Florida. Don't bring a storage unit. Bring your job. Bring your money. Don't wait till you're too old to enjoy it. I want to tell you tonight, they're building storage units down here, and I see a lot of people. When I talked to the real estate agent today, you know what she said? Yeah, there's a lot of homes in this community that they're in probate. You know, they're like the baby boomer died. They left it to their kids. They're trying to figure out how to liquidate it, get all the paperwork straight, and all their stuff just sits in storage. I said, every time I go by a storage unit, it's like a graveyard. I said, they brought their, I know some people, I hate to say, I'm not going to say the name. I know some people, they brought their stuff to Florida, okay? Their stuff is in Florida in a storage unit, and they're in another state. Guys, I want to tell you tonight, when someone says, what about hurricanes? I say, what about a storage unit? Hurricane. There ain't no hurricanes in Florida tonight, guys. Okay. Right now, it's probably passing by, New Jersey, Massachusetts, etc. Let's go back to these live comments. And then my man Howell was also saying this weather is something, disaster up there. Gonna knock out. Been tired these past few days. Well, it's understandable. You're just recovering from COVID. But you didn't have to go to the hospital. I know someone who got COVID recently. They didn't have the vaccine. They had to go to the hospital. So, and now you're back at work. And you got a good job. And you're doing great for yourself. Timothy, smart move, ESP. She's a very smart woman. Thank you, Timothy, for sharing. Hal, have a great night, Yacht Club. Hal, we love you. Take care of yourself. Get that good rest. Proud of you for showing up. We love you. Christina, thank you again. You've been very gracious. Very proud of you and all you're doing. And, like the other thing you're saying, like, your in-laws, like, they got a little bit of sly comments. I totally get that. That's what I tell you, man. I don't want to spend the night in anyone's house. I'd rather spend the night in my car or eventually home base. My mother's the exception sometimes, but that's it. Because I like my space. I agree with that. Twister, good night, Hal. We love you. Heal up, brother. Christina, amen. Christina, Twister. One of my sons got a Starbucks barista job at 18. He stayed for 10 years. I heard it's a good company to work for. Every barista I've ever talked to said overall, good company to work for, and you got a lot of transfer opportunity. I would recommend, this is my opinion, Twister, you do what you want, because I don't know your journey. I would look into, kind of like what Christina's got, I would look into transferring, even going to Starbucks. And then she said, now you say, well, I know how to make the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I know how to do the Dunkin' Donuts bagels and everything. I'm used to Dunkin' Donuts. When you're in your 20s, get used to doing things you're not used to. Because you're never going to grow if you stay in Dunkin' Donuts just because you know how to do everything. You know the time that you got to put the bagels in the back, etc. I remember a guy told me my first job, pretty much not just as an electrician. He pulled me aside and said, Sam, you show up, you got the credentials. But if I want to give you a promotion, you can't just think like an electrician, or else you're always going to be just an electrician. If you're going to, you can't just think like, oh, I got to just move up as a Dunkin' Donuts person. No. Keep your Dunkin' Donuts job, but maybe move up to Starbucks, because maybe they pay $2 more an hour and they give benefits, and there's more mobility around the country. Guys, Starbucks is higher than Dunkin' Donuts, no doubt. So, but you got to have a mind to adapt. What's the number one book I recommend you read? The book called Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. It sounds funny, but it's the most serious book you ever read in your life. Very easy read, 50 pages. It's all about adapting. You have to adapt from Dunkin' Donuts to Starbucks, and then from Starbucks to Amazon, then from Amazon to whatever. Sky's the limit. But, Twister, I want you to look around your Dunkin' Donuts. There's probably some people been there 10 years, and that's not a bad thing. But the bad thing is they've been there 10 years, and there's no thought in their mind to ever doing something else because now they've gotten so familiar with the Dunkin' Donuts protocol that they're scared to push themselves to go somewhere else, do something else. And that's for people looked at, but for a young person like you that's bright, time to responsibly look at pushing yourself and learning new companies, new processes, and stepping to a whole nother dimension of prosperity. Okay. And it's scary because I've been there and I can understand the real fear of not wanting to do it. But you know what's scary? Working at Dunkin' Donuts, I don't care if it's in Miami or Massachusetts, working at Dunkin' Donuts for 20 years. Not because there's shame in that. There's no shame in that. But if you got potential to do more than that, and I feel you do, then there's something wrong with that. Because if you got to trade 40 hours of your life, maximize your potential, maximize your revenue. Now, you could say, well, I want to do some things I'm passionate about. I may not make more money. To a certain extent, that's fine. But when we're talking about the lowest, when we're talking about when you're making money in the teens, like $15 an hour, $14 an hour, okay, you got to get to the next dimension. You got to get in the 20s. And you got to get in the 30s. Okay. And then you can do your thing on the side that you're passionate about. But by the time you're in your late 30s, 40s, you want to have enough skill set, enough career, enough adapting that, you're in a certain I remember a guy told me once I didn't want to take a promotion. I asked him, what do you think? Charles, man, welcome to the Yacht Club, back on it. Shout out to you, man. You got that video go viral, get 5K views. I see you out there. I appreciate that. Keep putting in that work. I remember I asked a guy, I was a little scared to take this promotion. Well, actually, it wasn't a promotion, excuse me. It was to change companies and get a higher job. After I already been with a current company for like a couple years. And I said, man, what do you think? And he goes, Sam, we were talking about the pros and cons. He goes, I'll tell you this. When you take that position, you go to another level and you change your life. Now, certainly you can get laid off. Certainly you can always get demoted. Certainly doesn't mean you'll always go up. But when you take a promotion, when you take a job that's reaching, that's going another level, you don't think the same. You don't act, it's some pain initially, but you go to another dimension of success. Oh, K. Smith, what's up, brother? $2 super chat. It's the heat keeping me from Florida. Everyone's different. Hurricanes, okay. Yeah, because look, in California, where I believe you're going, you got the wildfires, you got droughts. Everywhere in the country has give and take. I do acknowledge that everyone is not meant to live in Florida. Everyone's not meant to live in California, Wisconsin. You can name the state. It's everyone's job to find out what they're passionate about. You guys know I'm passionate about Florida. That's what I share. But that doesn't mean that you can't just get the message. The message is, like a lot of people will try to tell you, K. Smith, oh, why do you want to go to San Francisco? There's all these homeless people. When in actuality, San Francisco, it has a lot more wealth, okay, than Kentucky. I wonder why they never say, oh, don't go to Kentucky, even though I would say that. It's poverty in it. Don't go to Tennessee. Even though I know great people from Tennessee, they got money. But statistically, San Francisco is one of the wealthiest places in the country. And California in general. So, it's like, guys, you have to decide. You as an individual with a different fingerprint than your mother, your father, everyone else in this world. You have to decide what environment sets your soul on fire. But I guarantee you, when you find it, someone's going to say, well, what about hurricanes? What about wildfires? Oh, What about, oh, you don't want to work in Miami. What about this? Oh, you don't want to go there. What about this? Guys, this is, oh, you don't want to leave Alaska. Oh, California's too crazy, and now you got to spend another winter in Alaska. Don't let someone stop you from living your best life. They're scared sometimes. It's not even that they don't want you to live your best life. It's that number one is when you change, it puts a demand on everyone around you because you're not in their daily routine. You're not in their daily routine if you leave. And if you're not in their daily routine, then they get upset or scared because they need that familiarity. But guys, that you can't stay in the same spot, especially if you're not inspired, because you might as well be dead. Without inspiration, without passion, I mean, guys, I remember one time, and we'll go back to these live comments. Thank you for being patient. I remember one time I was in this, K Smith, 25K subs. This on to my favorite, Sam. Well, I appreciate that, brother. Dedicate this to my favorite Sam. Well, I appreciate your support and your love. I appreciate everyone out here. Thank you. As I always say, guys, look, I'm not entitled to nothing. I'm putting to work. I ain't gonna feel bad about nothing. But you gotta have a passion. That's what I want to tell you. If you don't know your passion, go for a walk. Get rid of the things in your life, starting with your storage unit that you don't use. Because you're not gonna find your passion when you're weighed down by stuff or people. So that's why you downsize, guys. You don't downsize, it's not just about financial. That's part of it. But part of it is also so that you can really spend more time figuring out yourself, and that's through self-care. But I remember walking around, I don't remember what store I was in, some department store. And I was walking to the men's section. And to walk to the men's section, I had to pass by the women's section. And there was these two women, they were probably in their late 50s, okay? And they were talking about their husbands. And one woman said to the other woman, oh, look at this bra, look at these underwear. Aren't they so, sexy or whatever? She said something like that. And the woman said, oh, yeah, those are very nice. Those are cute. And she goes, oh, but me and my husband, we don't have that passion anymore. And I heard it in her voice. And I understand that, guys. Look, obviously, when you get to a certain age, sex maybe not be there. I don't know, but I didn't look at, when I heard them say that, of course you think about the sex part, but I also thought about the passion. Okay? Like, passion, whether it's sex or something you love or living where you're inspired, whatever. Guys, there's something there that makes life alive. Okay? Like I said, guys, if you're sleeping in separate rooms, there's no passion. And I'm not just talking about sex. Your whole living situation. Okay. It's like, I'm not talking about sex. I'm just talking about like life. Okay. So these are my opinions tonight. Now let's take a hydration break. Let's go to these back ones. Backlog of comments. Thank you. Keep showing up. Don't let anyone bully you into quitting or bully you into feeling bad. Okay, they're guilt trippers. Cartoon Mark, what's up, brother? Let's get to all these comments. Cartoon Mark, I want to see you down here, man. I know I'm going to see you down there. I know you got what it takes. Shit. If you could trace utilities in upstate New York, there's a hurricane coming up there. I guarantee you some people telling Mark right now, don't go to Florida. What about hurricanes? Right now, a hurricane coming upstate New York. What a disaster. I hope I get these. Let's go back to them. So, Christina, thank you again. Twista says, good night, Hal. Christina was saying, Twista, about her son. Her son got a Starbucks barista job at 18. He stayed for 10 years and traveled to all major USA cities. Great job transfer. Oh, my God, Keith. Brother, Indiana makes a lot of RVs. They got a lot of headquarters for Thor. I think they say 90% of RVs come out of manufacturing in Indiana. However, Keith, 90% of all bikinis, Latina MILFs, they come out of South Florida. So what I want to tell you tonight, Keith, You have to decide, do you want to live where they manufacture RVs? Or do you want to live where the bikini is on display every day? You say, Inspirational Nomad, did you see a bikini today? I'll tell you right now, go smack yourself with an over-ripened banana from the all-night gas station. You know, you go in the gas station, they got bananas, but they're so over-ripened, they're like brown, because they don't respect health food in the gas station. That's why you make extra money. You go to Whole Foods or Fresh Market. I want to tell you that your environment matters. Okay. And the older you get, you need more inspiration. Why? Because you got less energy. Guys, when you're young, everything, you got energy. Everything inspires you. A sleepover inspires you. Okay. When you're in your 40s, guys, you don't get inspired by a sleepover. You're damn sure not inspired if you're not sleeping with someone you love. Keith, keep pushing forward, brother. You worked for FedEx for over 30 years. You're in your 60s. Now's your time. Seize this moment. Love you, brother. Great to see you. Christina, take advantage. I agree. He now bought a house. Did he go for him? And he's still single. Well, shout out to Christine's son. Worked at Starbucks. Okay, for over 10 years, traveled the country. And everyone, I would say just about 90% of all Starbucks baristas that I've spoken to, or managers, or like regional managers, they have all said that overall it's a good company to work for. So I agree with that. Because I do ask when I'm talking to them. Twister says, thank you so much, Sam. You know it helped me a ton. I completely agree of all of it. I will definitely refer back to this replay in the future. God bless you, Sam. God bless you, Twister. Your future's bright. Why? Because you got a good attitude. You show up, and you ain't scared to get some powdered donut sugar on your shirt. That's how you get stuff done. Twister, Sam. Thank you, Christina. Sounds like your son was doing very well for himself. One thing I was wondering was if I should switch industries for something more promising or stick with it, what I have. Well, I would definitely switch companies. Like, there's two different parts of careers. There's the company you work for, because there's certain companies, even if they're both corporations. Dunkin' Donuts is a corporation, they're publicly traded, and so is Starbucks. They're a publicly traded corporation. But Starbucks, there's more upward mobility, and there's more wealth. Not that much more, but there's more. It's a better company to work for. Okay. So it's in the same industry, though. What is the industry of Dunkin' Donuts and of Starbucks? It's service, retail. That's one of the lower industries in society, being honest. Doesn't mean you can't still make good money. It doesn't mean that you can't do well. But the bigger industries that provide you another level of financial prosperity and leverage in world, medical industry, IT industry, even a trade, and again, there's so many branches of these industries. Okay, obviously, medical industry, you could be a nurse. We know a doctor, but I know very few people will be a doctor. But everyone in the hospital, like someone asked me today, they go, I'm working construction up north. What can I do? A maintenance tech in a hospital in South Florida. So remember, you don't want to be if you had a choice, this is very important. If you had a choice between being a maintenance tech at a Dunkin' Donuts or a maintenance person in a hospital, a maintenance person in a hospital. A maintenance person, guys, the industries to be in are medical, IT, which stands for information technology, and, those are the biggest ones right now, two biggest. And, you can get all these other subcategories, finances, aerospace technology, though. I mean, you could get, so I would say that, Twista, I don't think you want to leap because you're still schooling it. I would say make An incremental step up to Starbucks, number one. And then I would take a leap once you got a little bit more footing in your life and you found kind of maybe where you want to put down roots, because that's important. Because once you put down roots, it's hard to uproot. That's why be very cautious before you put down roots. But, don't wait too long. So, but once you kind of take an incremental step up to Starbucks, then I would take a leap to maybe another industry. Because I remember I even talked to a manager of a Starbucks, and she told me her kid was going in being in a Starbucks. And I said, well, that's great. And the kid's great. He's hardworking. He's a hardworking people. But she goes, I'm happy for him. But I tried to get my kids to stay out of retail. And this is her, a manager at Starbucks. She worked there for 20 years. And I understand why. Because retail has a ceiling. Okay. Yes, you can become the manager of Starbucks. Yes, you can become like the regional manager. And then certainly there's some other positions you can go. But, you're still at a certain level. There's nothing wrong with any of these things, but I want to tell you the industry and company matter. So even if you want to stay in the retail industry, get with a good company. And Starbucks is probably one of the best retail service companies at that level. So get with them and let Dunkin' Donuts be your beginning. And then if you want to get outside of that, you'll have to figure out, what you're going to college for, what you're passionate, trial and error. Okay. Good job. Thank you for being patient, everyone. Charles, welcome back again, man. Thank you to all my members. Love to you out there. Christina, welcome, Charles. Yeah, Charles is, man. Timothy, welcome, Charles. Yeah, Charles been with me a long time. He's in Tampa. He's got a YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're not. I know he's very passionate about early retirement, spending time with his father. He likes wrestling. Shout out to you again, man. Keith Smith, thank you again for all your love, man, support. I know I read those, but you've been very positive. Keep living your best life. San Francisco, living a life that you want to live, man. And stay positive, stay healthy. Charles, thanks, everybody. Charles, we love you, man. Charles, I got a couple of shorts from you. Like those shorts, man. They're like the TikToks of YouTube. They do good, man. Shout out to Bree, keeping up with Bree. She's in the TikTok. I saw some porn today. Looked like Bree. Cute girl, looked like you, Bree. But let's stay positive. Oh, that was positive, but that's not. Charles goes, I got a couple of shorts of me just living my life. That got close to 1K. Damn, you're doing better than me in that regard. For me to get 1K, I got to push a little bit. In a few days. Those 15, 16 shorts seem to really be well. They're the TikTok of YouTube. I haven't done any shorts yet. That's not my gift, but it's wise to get in there. That's the future. Cartoon Mark. Handwave, what's up, brother? Yeah, palm tree. Coconut shrimp. I have some today. How much did it cost? $11.99 for the package of coconut shrimp. What did I do? I ate it. I was by the ocean. Okay. And I went for a long walk. I fully submerged in the Atlantic Ocean. I saw some bikini make you lose your mind. Okay. I want to tell you, Cartoon Mark, did you see coconut shrimp? Did you see bikinis? Was it 90 degrees and sunny today in upstate New York? If it wasn't, Mark, I want you to take all your utility tracing tools and I want you to put them in a 3 mil trash bag. And I want your girlfriend to say, what are you doing with your tools? And I want you to tell her, we're selling everything. And I want her to get pissed at you and start going, you're crazy. You lost your mind. Who told you that? Did that YouTuber tell you that? And you know what I want you to do next, Mark? I don't want you to say, I want the next call you make is to your real estate agent. You need some help. Don't sell by owner. Get a real estate agent. I want you to negotiate the real estate commission no more than 4%. 2% goes to the buying agent, 2% to the seller. You can negotiate that. I want you to be walking at the Sebastian River Walkway. I want you to be walking around Spanish lakes in Port St. Lucie. I want you to be doing a caricature of every person that needs a smile on their face. And I want you to charge $5 per caricature. Starting price. Twister, $5. Damn. $5 caricature super chat. Thank you, Sam, so much. I value your insight tremendously. Thank you, sharing my experience. I will continue grinding, scheming one day at a time. Well, grinding and showing up. Yeah, you must have meant showing up. I don't like scheming. You're showing up. One day at a time. Thank you, Sam. Yep. I want to tell you this, Twister. There's no scheme about showing up. It's called hard work and being rewarded for it. Okay. Because what I tell you is this. If no one shows up, nothing gets done. If nothing gets done, we don't have cars in society. If no one shows up, no one's in the emergency room. What do you do when you get sick or hurt? If no one shows up, there's no gas at the gas station. What if no truck drivers are around? If we reward people more for not doing anything, what society do we have? No society. If we do not value someone who makes characters, guys, you're never going to have a smile on your face. Did you see the characters Mark did of me, one in a car, one getting pulled over, God forbid. Very fun, made me smile. And I'll tell you, that put a smile on my face. I don't pay $5 for that shit. So, love to you, man. Thank you, Twister. I appreciate you. You keep pushing forward. Good to see you, Mary Tyler David. Let me get back to Cartoon Mark. The emoji with the coconut shrimp, I got all off track. He goes, oh my God, help me, Jesus. I see. I don't like this word. I saw a word I don't like. It's called duplex. Wait, say it. He goes, I have a duplex. To me, that means you got problems. You got two tenants. You got, oh my God. All right, let's read this comment. Whew, let's take positives. Positive. He goes, all right, that's Cartoon Mark. I have a duplex. Got it. I got to get through this comment. Right. I have a duplex where I rent to a good tenant upstairs. I've been lucky, all right, because I got a little scared here. But I'm not happy about this, but let's continue reading. He goes, but I have no problem selling right now. Sell. Sam, peaceful walk video. Mark. When you saw that video of me walking down that river walk, was there any time in that video where I said, I got a good tenant? Was there any time in that video where I said the word duplex? Now, I know I said it in an RV review, but not that one. What I'm trying to tell you is when you're walking by the river and you don't own a lot of things, you don't need a lot, and you don't have to worry about a lot. The whole point of walking by the river is so that you live on vacation. You don't have to get away from your life. You don't have to worry about what happens when the good tenant dies. What happened when the good tenant moves out? You got to build a life, unless you're a real estate developer, you got to build a life where the only tenant that you're responsible is the little person that lives in your mind. You know, the little person that's in your mind that comes up with all these characters, this creative, inspired person. You know the tenant in your mind, Mark, that every time it gets below 60 degrees in upstate New York, every time you look at this uninspiring utility tracing, even though I want you to get your pension, whatever you can get, I'm not trying to tell you quit early, I'm just, hear me out. I saw the picture of you with your father on a golf cart by a palm tree. And what I saw was the tenant was very happy. And in life, it is the tenant that lives in our mind that we must take great care of. Because if we have to start evicting our tenant in here, our mind goes in foreclosure, forbearance. We stop taking care of our mind. We start taking a nap. I want you to take care of yourself well. Cartoon Mark, you're a great man. You got a great gift. A lot of people say you're doing a great job with these characters. I said too. Thank you, brother. David, what's up, brother? Well, let's see what David got to say. Oh, my God. 5 inches. Here we go, guys. All right. He goes, 5 inches of rain in Pennsylvania. Huh. Shout out to Milford, Pennsylvania. He goes, going on now. You know what's going on in South Florida right now? It's probably about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It was 90 today. Beautiful. I saw a bikini. I saw a pair of butt cheeks. Phew. The USA. Oh, my God. And I want to tell you, it's true. The better area, the better the women look. Okay. They say, I'm trying. Guys and girls, get a job transfer to a good area. Now, even if you got to live a little bit away from the best area, if it's too stressful to afford in that area, but spend time in the good area. You say Inspirational Nomad, there's a Dollar General 5 minutes up the road. It's the same Dollar General that's a half hour away. And I said, you don't watch any of my videos, do you? You know the difference between the $1 General that's 5 minutes up the road and the other one that's 30 minutes away or 40 minutes away? Inspiration. Passion. See, you have to go to the place where people are excited, even if that means going a little bit outside of what's convenient. I saw people playing volleyball today. When's the last time you see someone playing volleyball as part of their daily routine? These people play volleyball, it's their daily routine. Guys, I'm on an episode of Saved by the Bell every day. The summer edition. Some of you are on an episode of Married with Children. The winter edition in Chicago. Hate to say it. And I understand why. You go to the most convenient Dollar General. Because your wife's at home cooking weenie tots. Your daughter's acting a fool, dating a fool. Your house is totally uninspiring. You don't even want to renovate it anymore. Your car, even if you got a nice car, it's got too big a payment. And you're trapped. You're trapped. And you say, I know I'm trapped. How do I get out? Well, I'll tell you right now how you get out. Get rid of the unnecessary. Same way you renovate. You gotta gut. You gotta throw out and you gotta gut your life. Start from the studs. Such a powerful message. Change your life. Don't sell on Facebook Marketplace. Throw out at the dumpster in the apartment complex 10 minutes up the road. You say Inspirational Nomad. In my community, they don't take the big trash but once a month. You know, the furniture and all this shit. Should I wait till next month? I look at you. And say, you haven't been watching my videos. What you need to do is take 20 bags of broken down furniture or anything else that goes on a big day, break them down into 20 bags, and take a trip to the apartment complex 5-10 minutes up the road that they got a dumpster. And even though technically maybe you're not allowed to go there, I would dump them out. Okay? Because a month is an eternity. And if you're willing to wait a month, you're willing to renew your storage unit for another month. And if you're willing to do that, your life is over. Robert, $5 super chat. Do you know what hurricanes and women have in common? Question mark. When they first arrive, they're wet and wild. And when they leave, they take your house and your car. Well, for some women, that could be true. And I've certainly met those type of women. To be fair, I've certainly met some men. They were probably like a hot dog stand that David sells. They were hard. They were in shape. They were passionate about life. and then they didn't advance their career. They got lazy, they got comfortable, and they blame their woman for everything. So I respect men and women. I think women sometimes play the game, and I think men play the game. I think both people, if you're unsure of the other, I think stay single. I think like when in doubt, don't buy. When in doubt, stay single. If you know that you're really connecting with someone and you're willing to take the risk, you take the risk, and either you mitigate the risk through a prenup. Guys, like at this point in society, I can understand 40 years ago. At this point in society, if you want to get married, you have a prenup. You don't go men going their own way. Just get a prenup, okay? And if you don't want to have kids, get a vasectomy or get the vaccine, okay? So it's like there's no excuse why you can't mitigate your risk. Now, if you want to take the risk, it's like day trading stocks. It's like betting on a horse. Guys, if it doesn't come out, you're taking a risk. You can mitigate your risk, but you have to be a man and take accountability. I know there's women deceivers. I call them out. I called them out last night, even though I don't like to do that. But I'm also call out the men. Guys, it's life. I tell you, marry a robot. So thank you, Robert. And again, I understand that some of you comment, I don't know Robert's age. I know that some of you guys and girls, you come from a generation ago where, guys, it's a disaster because, society was still evolving. So there was a lot of bad divorces, heartbreak. But in today's society, if you're still going down that road without mitigating risk, you're not using the internet to get information. You're using the internet to spy on your relatives, to watch sadistic porn, not even the good, healthy porn, the sadistic porn, and you're told delusional. You play with the thumbs up, thumbs down, just to get attention. And then you go, oh my God, they took advantage of me, they left me. No, guys, you have mental problems. You need to go get therapy. Now, will you do that, guys? Have you ever tried to talk to a psychopath? They can't even register their car on time. They'd say. So, when you're dealing with someone who's doing laundry after 9, who has several profiles, and none of them are their real person, okay, and they can't register their car on time, guys, do you think you're going to make logical sense to this type of mind? It's 10 o'clock at night. They're just getting started. Guys, you're getting ready to shut down. So, it's like the difference between working at Dunkin' Donuts and working at Starbucks. It's like the difference between working at Starbucks and working for Tesla. It's like the difference between working in Tesla and working for, Microsoft, whatever. You're going to a whole other dimension. So, love to you, brother. Thank you again. Back to these live comments. Thank you again, David. Great to see you, David. I appreciate you. Maritas, hey Sam, Maritas, I love you. You're doing a great job walking that dog. Christina, hey Maritas, thank you again, Christina. Maritas, hey Christina. Maritas, I'm beat tonight. You're putting a good day. If you're not tired at 10 o'clock at night, you took a nap, or you didn't, one is you definitely took a nap. Number 2 is you didn't wake up early enough. Number 3 is you didn't do anything. But if you're tired, that shows me you did everything right. You didn't take a nap, you woke up early, and you stayed busy, stayed productive. And guys, life's a very easy as far as mathematical equation. When someone is tired at 10 o'clock at night, they had a full day, they had a good day. Now, unless you worked a night shift, I worked a night shift, and I was young, we were all young, but I'm talking to adults. So, good job, Maritas. Here we go. Yeah, I was tempted to take a nap at lunch, but went for a walk instead. Maritas, you done changed your life. Because your sleep cycle would have been totally messed up. You took that nap. You'd have been doing laundry right now. Hate to say it. But now you're tired. You're going to bed, which you should be doing. Good job. Charles, we need shorts of you feeding the squirrels. That's actually a good suggestion. You are very smart. I may have to do that. Good suggestion. Twister. Thank you again, Twister. I know I read that, but thank you again for your graciousness. Thank you. Mary Toss, yeah, Ghostbusters, no naps, but going to bed early tonight. Early to bed, early to rise, make that money bag grow inside. Good job. Robert, thank you again for that gracious tip. My man, Cartoon Mark. I've done that apartment comp. Yeah, you know. Yeah, shout out to my man, Mark. He knows all the tricks. Hey, guys, you got to do what you got to do. Good job, Mark. Christina, Mary Taz. Last night, I fell asleep during the chat. That shows me you're making it happen. But no nap for me either. Good job, Christina. All right, guys and girls. I appreciate everyone tonight. I hope that my videos help you in some way. They inform you, they inspire you, they motivate you. I understand some of what I say is opinion, not fact. I have my own personality. I'm sure some of the things you have your own personality. Disagree, that's good. But keep going forward. Okay. And living your best life. Rideshare Show, what's up, brother? Sam. Do nomads have the ability to take naps? They do, but not wise. It's impossible mentally. Yeah, well, I agree with you as far as when you live as a nomad full-time in your car, you're pushed to move, you're pushed to be alert, and you're not as comfortable as if you were in a house or apartment. I took a nap when I was staying at that hotel for 30 days. Yeah, there were some days I took a nap. And did I notice the difference in my energy? And my energy was a little lower. Now, if I get a home base when I take a nap, no, I don't think so. I mean, I don't. But I have to be conscious of it because you're more comfortable. And so you got to fight it more. Right now, I don't have to fight it. But I could take a nap. Guys, in the beginning of my car journey, I took a nap a couple times. And that's what I tell you, from experience, not from theory. I look at my own life, not other people's life, and I say, when I take a nap, does it benefit me or not? It doesn't benefit. And when I look at your life and you tell me you took a nap, there's nothing wrong with it. And then I look at your life, I said, don't benefit you either, okay? Because I'm looking at what you're looking at, okay? It don't benefit you either. So guys, of course there's exceptions. Of course there's the very elderly, very sick, etc. I'm talking in general terms. When in doubt, don't nap. Okay? And if you don't, I guarantee you're going to be more productive, you're going to have more energy, and you're going to go to bed on time, you're going to feel better about yourself. So, Rideshare Sean, I got that point, though. That was actually a good comment. Shout out to you. Again, shout out everyone doing the gig economy. Shout out to all my nomads. Roberto, everyone. ESP. And thank you again, everyone, for watching. If you haven't already, click that thumbs up. Share the video. Leave a comment on a replay. Thank you again, everyone. All the members, newest member again, Charles. All the super chats. Thank you. Appreciate you.